What is the black pill disease? Well, here I'm going to explain what the black pill disease is and what it is. It's basically the idea that everything is pointless in life and everything cannot be fixed, and no matter what you do and say, there's absolutely no hope in society and everything, so why even bother trying to fix a problem? The illness, the disease, comes into play with certain ideologies that preaches that you cannot fix the court system, and we all know this with MGTOW, and there are probably other ideologies that have the same sentiments, not so much of the court system, of course, but that preaches this idea that you cannot fix the system, therefore it's better to opt out. That sort of ideology, that sort of way of thinking breeds the black pill illness or disease. And with this disease, it causes individuals to basically assume that nothing that they can say or do will ever fix the system, even though that's not true. And in fact, if the majority of them actually lift the finger and actually started making online petitions and they're doing something, the system would have been, I wouldn't argue it would be fixed, but there would be a lot more progress to it. So, in a sense, the black pill is a disease caused by the philosophical idea that it's better to walk away from problems instead of actually fixing it. And this disease is extremely contagious within those certain ideologies, especially of newcomers that have been fucked over with the system, especially. And that way of thinking is very, very, you can easily get sucked into that. And I know that because a long time ago, I was a black pillar, except at the time I wasn't MGTOW. It was right after some family drama happened and a lot of bad shit happened with me, and that got me super depressed to the point where I started harming myself. And I started considering suicide and other aspects of that. It was only up until an amnesia moment and a few other moments, and especially people being there for me, that actually got me to reconsider that and actually consider life. And I would have to say, with my experience, yeah, the black pill disease is very contagious if you're in a bad spot in life. And this is why it's extremely dangerous, because once when a person's infected with it, regardless if you become good, regardless if you walk away from that sort of stuff, you're going to end up you're essentially going to end up tainted, no matter what you do. It sort of leaves a mark on you, whether or not you can, regardless if you can see that as a good thing or an omen, like a curse of your past, it still taints you. Nothing can truly get rid of the past like that, unless if somehow you have amnesia and forget the whole thing, but it's extremely unlikely. But once when you had the black pill philosophically, it will never truly go away. And the best thing to do is just not only be yourself, but also to, in a sense, in a true sense, strive to help others and yourself, and never give up on life, on anything. And regardless if the situation looks bleak, you gotta keep fighting for what you think is the right choice. The moment you give up is the only way that black pill sort of illness can resurface. And the other reason of why a black pill disease is dangerous is not only for the mental and psychological aspects that could harm you, especially, it can also harm society. Like, hypothetically, let's say 40% of the populace suddenly became black pillars. At that point, people would eventually stop paying taxes because they would see paying taxes or even participating in the society norm as a waste of time because, well, society has many problems, therefore why should we even bother trying to fix any of the problems, and so on and so forth. That would literally cause the collapse of our civilization. Either that, or the government may crack down on that and make people pay taxes even more. But you get my point? It's also extremely destructive towards communities and certainly countries and households and certainly your neighborhoods. If enough people just give up on just believing and also trying to work with the system, it's extremely destructive in that capacity. That's actually one of the many criticisms I have of the MGTOW community is that infection of the black pill mental state. And it's very noticeable with some MGTOWs in particular that truly do believe that nobody can ever fix anything. Like, I've heard a couple MGTOWs think that nothing that they can do can ever solve the Gallocentrism problem, and that to me is very, very reminiscent of the black pill illness. The only cure to the black pill illness is the white pill, the rejection of giving up. You have to let go on telling yourself that nothing can ever change for the better, and you actually have to try and give the effort to actually try and fix whatever problem is affecting you personally. And if enough people do that, you can overcome any problem, no matter how big or small. And for one thing, it's changed my life for the better because, as I mentioned before with my personal life, when I was in a bad state and how that's contagious, it took me a lot of work to actually fix myself, but it actually took a lot of work on my part. Something that I had to initiate, something that I had to start. And that's the only way you can truly start fixing the things in your life. Just work with the things that you can do and try and fix the system, and you can even ask help if you want. That works too. And regardless if you're not successful at fixing something, like, eventually your actions will inspire others to basically inspire them to do the same, and eventually whatever problem is there will be fixed because it will inspire others to try and fix it. Overall, I hope this video helps. This is the first episode of the White Pill series, and this is more of a philosophical sort of idea of the what, or extension of what the white pill is, and also my explanation of why I think the black pill is more of a disease, an illness that a lot of people have been currently suffering over. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and let me know if you like this video or anything. And also, I'm looking for feedback of what I can improve on in terms of how to approach the white pill series, and certainly me tackling the black pill and me tackling, okay, how can we fix the black pill illness or stuff. But anyways, thank you all for watching.